everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you everyone for joining us online. We're here to officially kick off the 2015 Imaginative Film and Media Arts Festival. I'm Jason Ryle, the Executive Director at imagineNATIVE.
And I'm Daniel Northway Frank, the Manager of Festival Initiatives.
And we are together again for the 16th time. We always joke that we're sort of the world's best wasbins, work husbands, and I think that's particularly true for the past year. We're very excited to be with you here today to announce our programming for this year. It's incredible when you think of where the festival has grown over the past 15, 16 years to where we are today. I've been with the festival now for 13 years, 5 as executive director, and Daniel with the organization for
7. For volunteering for as many as you did.
Well, I was up at 5 o'clock this morning working on this space just to make sure everything was just so.
Oh, poor thing. Well, actually, I was up, I think it was around like maybe 4:59, actually. I was just making sure we got those great little extras into the script, last minute. Yeah.
That was after my nap when I woke up at 2, just to get, So, yes.
Well, but actually, I'm getting my military timing wrong. It wasn't 12 p.m., it was 12 a.m. that I was actually up getting in that last virtual reality thing in here. Yeah.
Needless to say, a lot of work, blood, sweat, and tears from a lot of different people have gone into this year's festival. And thank you so much for coming this morning. I want to start by acknowledging the territory of the Mississaugas of New Credit First Nation and the Haudenosaunee. We're very pleased to be on their territory and call it our festival home. We also want to thank our presenting sponsor, Bell Media, who's back this year again and has renewed for another 6-year period. So we're very thankful to Bell Media, as we are to all our sponsors who really have made this festival possible. I want to say a huge thank you to the imagineNATIVE team. The staff has been incredible as always, so thank you to you all. Also to our board, our patrons, and of course the volunteers who really make this festival possible. Additional thanks to Flip Publicity for all their hard work again this year. We love working with you guys. Thank you. Thanks also to A Space Gallery for hosting us this year, and to Tea and Bannock for the tea and bannock that you're enjoying this year. Apologies to those online who aren't enjoying this, but hopefully you can make your own tea and bannock at home. As we mentioned, this event is being live streamed. This is our first live stream initiative, and there'll be several events live streamed throughout the festival that we'll mention here this morning. We had a record number of submissions to imagineNATIVE this year. And again, I think back to those early days when, as a new festival, we actively went out and sought as much work as we could and programmed pretty much anything that was submitted to the festival. And over the past 10 years, I'd say, programming really has been one of the most difficult aspects of the job, as well as one of the most rewarding. We obviously get more work than we can actually program in the festival, and I think for the programmers this year, it was particularly difficult. And we certainly hope you enjoy the programming slate that we have lined up for you today. So I do want to thank the programmers, Heather Haynes, Ariel Smith, Marcia Nickerson, Adam Garner-Jones, Denise Balduc, Carolyn Habib, and of course, Daniel and myself. Thank you, Daniel.
Thanks, Jason.
All told, we had our 15th anniversary last year, which was our biggest festival to date, and probably against better judgment, this year's festival is actually larger than last year, which is pretty exciting. Why don't you give a breakdown of the films?
Great. I'll give you a breakdown just of the different areas of programming that we're doing with a grand total at the end, which is kind of astounding. So this year we have 143 films here at the festival. That's up from 1 more from last year, so hopefully no one will pull out at the last moment, which includes 12 dramatic features, incredible films, 7 documentary features, 53 short drama, 33 short documentary, 33 experimental, 4 music videos, which include 27 world premieres, 57 works by emerging artists, and 17 youth artists. We have 5 audio works from a record number of submissions, and I would say this is actually our first curated audio curation this year. We had enough that we could really pull out the ones that really resonated the most with us this year. In addition, we have 8 digital media works and an exciting development, just in Indigenous creative mediums, is that 6 of them are games, interactive games on iPad, online, and elsewhere, which I'll talk a bit about later. We also have believe it or not, with co-presentations, 6 exhibitions this year, including 1 installation, which is pretty incredible. We're going to have a rockin' art crawl this year, and that features 20 artists and 23 works. So that's a total of 181 works at the festival, from 19 countries, featuring 35 languages, from 178 Indigenous artists in the directing, writing, or producing role. And that's about a 50-50 split between men and women, and from 101 Indigenous nations. So we're pretty proud of that. It's an exciting time. And this is the official launch of all of these here at the festival. So we'd like to kind of start off with our festival trailer, which just got done.
This is the official world premiere.
So we'd like to thank James Monkman, who is our graphic designer for that, does incredible work, and has done several of our trailers, if not 5 at least. And also to Chandra Bulakan, who is it Puppy Machine?
Bad Puppy?
No.
Puppy Machine.
Puppy Machine, who has done phenomenal music work. We're really excited to work with them year after year, and they're quite committed, and hopefully it's paid off. So I just want to mention this is October 2nd, so our single ticket sales are now on sale for regular price, available at imagineNATIVE.org, which will send you a link to the box office. You can either call their office, go online, or is there another way?
In person.
Or in person. That would help. So that's
the old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way. And we also want to announce that this is the official launch of our festival app, which got completed a couple hours ago, but it's live, available on Android and so Google Play and the iTunes Store. So
French and English.
And in French and English. So we look forward to you guys using that as the main resource probably for you during the festival and getting around. We're quite excited about it.
Right. And we're pleased to speak about our opening day celebrations, which, as you know, features the annual Welcome Gathering at the Native Canadian Centre of Toronto, and the opening night gala, which takes place at the Bloor Hot Dog Cinema. And this year features Sterling Harjo's Miko. And we have a trailer for you to play. Sufjan.
You know why I really went to jail? I heard what they said, but I didn't believe them.
Chief, that's what your name is. Why are you here?
I'm a better man now. I just want a chance. Things have changed. Now the warriors are on the streets.
Then leave now.
Sterling Harjo, who has been a festival favorite for the past decade, I'd say, will be in attendance, as well as stars Rod Rondo and Sarah Podemski. I want to thank NBC Universal for presenting the opening night screening. And also, of course, we have the after party at the Everly following the screening. Each year as well, we do our International Spotlight, which has become a fixture of imagineNATIVE's programming. And we're pleased this year to announce the Spotlight is on Sápmi. So we'll feature 4 programs by works from Sami artists from Norway, Sweden, Finland, and northwestern Russia. We'll start with the Indigitalks presentation, which is our TED Talk style discussion that explores the history of Sami cinema, with Anna-Laila Utsi and Jorma Lehtela presenting that. We will also have The Pathfinder by Niels Gaup, which is a film from 1988 that was nominated for the Best Foreign Language Oscar film that year. We also have the Canadian premiere of 7 Sami Stories, which are 7 short films that were commissioned by the International Sami Film Institute, which is a partner this year. And it's a fantastic program. And lastly, as our final Sami program, we have the Sami Shorts from 1991 to 2004. Teen, curated by guest programmer Jorma Lehtela, who's the artistic director of the Skautmagovet Film Festival, which is the Sami and Indigenous Film Festival based up in northern Finland. I want to thank the sponsors for the Sami Spotlight, the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Sport, the embassies of Norway, Sweden, and Finland, and a special thanks to the Sami Parliament and the International Sami Film Institute. The Sami president will also be in attendance at the festival this year, which we're very happy to welcome her. We'll go into our film and video highlights now. We have the Canadian premiere of Esprit de Corps by Kanakan Balantagos, who again is a festival favorite. I think we've had pretty much all of Kanakan's films in the festival over the years. We also have the special presentation of The Deadlands by Toa Fraser. This is from Aotearoa, New Zealand. We will have which will feature a special discussion with the film star, Lawrence Makaware, who arguably is one of the most successful Indigenous actors, I think, working in New Zealand, but also has a great track record in Hollywood. He's been in all of the Lord of the Rings films, as well as The Hobbit, one of the James Bond pictures, and quite a few others. We have the world premiere of Anguirtut, Coming Home by Zacharias Canuck, which is a really fascinating experiment of sorts. This film is being presented intentionally without Inuit subtitles, without English subtitles rather, and is presented entirely in the Inuktitut language. So it really creates this wonderful immersive experience, I think, in the cinema. We have the Ontario premiere of Le Dep, which will feature an all-French language panel following the screening, and the international premieres of Red for Now, Promise Me by Rachel Perkins from Australia, which is based on the popular Red for Now television series, which is also playing on the Aboriginal People's Television Network. The Price of Peace, a documentary by Kim Webby and Christina Mulligan. The Last Saint by Renee Naufahu. When the Darkness Comes by Malik Kleist from Greenland, which is this horror film from Greenland, and it's fantastic, which is playing as our Witching Hour screening. The Red Fern Story by Darlene Johnson, which is a fantastic documentary that looks at the history of Indigenous rights through the founding of the National Black Theatre Company in the neighborhood of Redfern in Sydney, Australia. And finally, we have the Historias de la Sierra Madre by Omar Ponce Nava from Mexico. We also have 10 additional shorts programs and our very first artist spotlight, which this year is shining the spotlight on Cherokee producer, filmmaker, and actor Heather Ray. So we have 3 of her films playing as part of the artist spotlight, 2 of which have become classics of Indigenous cinema, the documentary Trudel and the dramatic feature Frozen River, which was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, the screening of which will feature a special tribute to Misty Upham, who passed away last year. We also have the Canadian premiere of her latest film, the horror Windwalkers. Also associated with A-Space Gallery, in the A-Space windows just out in the hallway, is an exhibition of her photographic work, so please check those out when you're heading out. Do you want to say that?
Yep. And in addition, we're having Heather attend with the Artist Spotlight, but also in our first lab dedicated to Indigenous Canadian feature film producers, an emerging one. So she's leading a mini lab of sorts that will invite 4 emerging Canadians looking to develop their long-form skills with that kind of Hollywood experience that Heather and very few other Indigenous producers have. So over the course of several days, they'll watch your films, have discussions, and Paula Devonshire, who's one of our board members and also a Canadian producer, will kind of moderate those discussions. So we're very excited to start our first producer-led professional development series. I'll keep going because I'm on... We just want to thank the Canadian Media Production Association, who is the presenter of that mini lab. So thank you so much. Now we'll talk about our audio and digital media highlights. So like I said, our audio works, I'd say this is truly our first kind of curated program where we've selected five different works, radio plays, documentaries, and sound art that really push artistic boundaries this year and are really quite immersive, beautiful to listen to, whether it's at the festival or at home via our app or our website. So that'll be available during the dates of the festival. We also have our digital media works. So these are interactive websites, applications that are submitted to us, and we've done a curated program, again, of 8 of those, 6 of them being Indigenous games, which we're pretty excited about, but also including just interactive art. There's kind of a choose-your-own-adventure game, all pretty exciting, but my baby this year is the place where we will interact with all these works, which is the Digital Media Artcade. So funded with the support of the Canada Media Fund, the Digital Media Artcade brings all of these interactive works and the audio works into an immersive environment. Yeah. Oh, and we'll talk about web series in just a minute. Yeah. So anyway, it's going to be at the TIFF Bell Lightbox on the 2nd floor. This was our former audio and new media lounge that's now going to be transformed and feel like an arcade. It's going to be very immersive. Aside from these works, we're also going to have virtual reality demos. So virtual reality is the catch media outlet this year in terms of expressing yourself through content, and Indigenous artists are leading this charge in many ways. So we're having demos featuring a work by Tanya Tagak of her Nanook from the North recording that she did with TIFF, and some other works by Resolution Pictures. So we're really excited about that. You'll be interacting with those also in the lineup. We're engaging people as they're waiting in theater for their screening in the lineup. We are bringing out Google goggles for people to experience those, to encourage them to come up into the space and play around. So really make it a play space after your screening. And last but not least, in this area is that we've added a web series to our official selections this year. So we have two web series, one dealing with Maori LGBT youth issues, 6 episodes by Mika X from New Zealand, and also a series called Black Is, which are small little bios of leading Aboriginal Australian leaders in Australia. So we invite you to interact with those online, but also in the lineups. So we're getting you guys busy the whole time you're here.
And of course, imagineNATIVE is more than a film and media arts festival. We also have, as Daniel mentioned, 6 exhibitions as part of the festival this year. Our Showpiece exhibition, you're sitting in it now currently, Material Experiments, curated by Danielle Prantup. This is her first exhibition, and I think she did a phenomenal job. So just invite you to come down, and you here, stay and enjoy this exhibition. We also have Heather Ray, Urban Indigenous, outside in the windows, which I mentioned previously. We have Arctic Noise, featuring the work of Geronimo Inutik, aka Mad Eskimo, who has a number of works at the festival this year, up at Trinity Square Video. Voz a Voz, Voice of Voice, at YYZ Artist Outlet, which is also in 401. And these 4 exhibitions are now open and will be part of tomorrow's Nuit Blanche. For This Land opens October 16th, upstairs on the 4th floor at VMAC Gallery. All 5 of these exhibitions here at 401 will be part of our increasingly fabulously popular Art Crawl, which takes place Friday, October 16th, beginning here at A Space Gallery, featuring artist and curator talks at each stop. It really grew from 500 in 2013 to over 2,000 last year, so it's a great time to come together and celebrate these exhibitions. This event will also be one of our live-streamed events this year, too. Finally, we have, in partnership with Gardner Museum, the exhibition Kent Monkman, The Rise and Fall of Civilization. As part of this exhibition, we have a screening of Kent Monkman's short films featuring Miss Chief Eagle Testicle, his fabulous, fantastic, glamorous alter ego, which is playing at the Gardner, and which very well actually might be sold out now. So get your tickets now if there's any left.
There were 8 tickets left as of this morning.
They're gone now, just like that. Bye. And as part of that screening, Kent is doing a Q&A, but also a private tour of the exhibition at Gardner. So it's, I think, a wonderful, wonderful thing.
So now we'll move on to the festival's Professional Development Industry Series. So this is an annual series of events dealing with the art, craft, and business of media arts from an Indigenous perspective. And this year we have a whole array of panels and workshops, including our ever-popular dramatic and documentary short film pitch series with over $21,000 in cash and in-kind services available to these artists. All of these events will be live streamed, so we're quite excited about that. We're doing a panel on micro-budget filmmaking featuring creative filmmaking under a shoestring budget from a director's perspective and from a filmmaker's perspective, sponsored by the Directors Guild of Canada, Toronto, and Telefilm Canada, and as well other panels talking about Indigenous databases, kind of Indigenous IMDb's that are now available for media arts, for researchers and academics to use as material to do research on different types of media art work, and the art of story editing, a fantastic new insight into what goes in behind that final story that gets onto the screen. We'll have a special announcement at that of a new initiative to close our industry series this year.
Our special events at the festival this year include the award show presented by Aboriginal People's Television Network, and it's going to be a new vision this year, spearheaded by Andy Morrow and Tara Bagan of Article 11, who are the producers, the artistic producers for the show. It's going to be held in Cinema 2 at the TIFF Bell Lightbox this year, which is a change of venue, and we really think it'll be a fantastic change to really showcase and honor the artists whose work are being recognized by our 2 juries. I also want to thank the juries for their contributions for this year. There's a lot of viewing, and they're being very diligent. The award show will again be hosted by comedian and star and radio host Candy Palmater, featuring performances by hoop dancer Lisa Ojig and Sami singer Ella Maria Era. It'll also feature presenters Alanisa Bomswin and Ashley Burnham, Mrs. Universe. This event will also be live streamed and be followed by The Beat DJ Powwow, which is our annual music night presented by Slate Music, and feature DJs DJ Akil, Glit Clit, and Mad Eskimo. That's
there we go. So aside from that, we also have many numerous free events, so we recommend that you go to imagineNATIVE.org, and there's a free events section, so you can see all those things that are free, the panels and workshops, all of our exhibitions, and several other screenings, including our award show and our award screenings at the very end of the festival.
Yes, and also a reminder that all our screenings from Thursday to Sunday of the festival before 6 p.m. are free to elders, seniors, students with valid ID, and the underemployed. These must be claimed in person at the TIFF Bell Lightbox beginning now.
And I had one more thing. And we'd also like to remind you that we have a partnership with Air Canada as we lead into its 5th year this year. So this is a selection of short Indigenous Canadian films that are available on all Air Canada flights. So between September and December of this year, so that's possibly reaching over 10.4 million people, which is a fantastic promotional opportunity for us and a fantastic opportunity for our artists to be seen around the world. And in addition, we'll have our returning Air Canada Audience Award this year. So you'll be ripping a nice little sheet at the end of your screening, voting for your favorite film, and we'll tally those up, and the winner gets money.
And glory.
And the glory of it all.
Actually, it's you.
And it's me again. So to close the festival, we'll have our closing night gala, Adam Garnett Jones's Fire Song, which we're really excited to have at the festival. If you were part of TIFF in any way. You saw all the coverage it got. We're really excited about it. So get your tickets soon. It's actually one of our top sellers at the moment. We actually have Melissa here from Big Soul who's helped work on the project, so if you have any questions about it. But we will have stars Andrew Martin and Jennifer Podemsky here at the festival for a slightly longer Q&A at the end. In addition to Adam Garnett-Jones, of course.
We spoke obviously about ticket sales right now. Ticket sales are on sale right now. In addition to the individual tickets, we have 3 ticket packages on offer. These ticket packages can be shared and are valid for a single screening if you choose. We also have delegate passes on sale until October the 9th only, so please get those now if you're interested. And finally, to close today, we're very pleased to announce the introduction of a new award to the festival this year. We have had quite a few discussions over the years about introducing an acting prize of some sort to the festival. And really, we're so fortunate when Jenny Lazan came to us with the blessing of the family of the late August Schellenberg to discuss the creation of a new award in his name. This was, I think, 2 years ago, Jenny, that we sort of began this discussion, and we're very pleased to announce the inaugural August Schellenberg Award of Excellence, which we presented at the award show this year. This has been generously funded through support from ACTRA, ACTRA Performers' Rights Society, and the many individual donors who raised the funds for this prize. When we were talking about the recipient, the jury came together and really wanted someone who made a significant contribution to the craft of acting, but also who really left an indelible mark on the Indigenous film world, but also the larger film world internationally. And after a lot of deliberation, it really came down to one person. And we couldn't think of a better person who embodies the spirit of this award, who has a really beautiful connection to August Schellenberg, and also who really, I think in many ways, embodies the history of contemporary Indigenous cinema. I think of when she started her career and where she is now, the changes that happened in this time. And it's hard not to get emotional when you speak about Tantoo Cardinal. She has meant so much to so many people. You've been a beacon of light, Tantoo, to so many, and still are today. And we're very pleased to have Tantoo here today, the first recipient of the Augie Award. Please welcome the legend, Tantoo Cardinal.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know about legend, but a long story anyway. It's actually 45 years. And I think Augie was out there before I was, and Gordon Tatusis is being honored today in Saskatoon. And Augie was out there all by himself. Can you imagine how happy he was to see some Indians coming over the hill finally? That's what I think about, I think. And he could have very easily gone and had a very comfortable career, kind of disappearing into the world of any actor, you know. He, not to say the dreaded term white guy, but he didn't have a slot that he was put into. He could have gone anywhere. He was well established right away. It seemed to me, you know, like when I first met Augie, I remember seeing him, playing a lawyer or something like that, you know, and it always really touched my heart that he really wanted to make a commitment to our world, to the world, and he was part Mohawk. And so he wanted to honor those roots that he was part of. And he has so much love for for change, for growth, for healing, all those things. And he was so like powerful is one word that I think of when it comes to Augie, but very principled and very disciplined and very wanted to do the best work, and he wanted everybody around him to be the best that they could be. I mean, he was one to put out a hand and pull you up, and maybe a strong word to toughen you up a little bit too. You know, he was really about clarity and honesty and those kinds of things. And I worked with him in Black Robe, and it was just an absolutely beautiful experience. You really felt like your back was covered when you were around Augie. And sometimes I think it was because, he'd come up hard. He was on the streets of Montreal. He was a boxer, and just very limited patience with what we commonly call bullshit, I feel so honored to stand here and be a part of the kickoff for an award that I hope carries on for a long time, and that be held in good esteem. Because we have so many wonderful performers that are coming up and that carry the principles that Augie espoused. And, just in my life, what he did for my son was really he insisted on being instrumental in helping him get into National Theatre School, which is a hard school to get into. But Augie just pushed and pushed and pushed, and he really put himself out there, and that's what he did. The heart of him. I remember being in Toronto one time and just really being stuck and being broke, and yet somehow I was here. I had a ticket back home, and he knew that. He'd come sliding by and slip me a 50, and just keep me afloat. He had a big heart, big eye, and I don't like to talk about him as had, because his spirit lives, and I so appreciate imagineNATIVE and Johnny, the hard work being put in, and make sure that he's being honored and he's being remembered. And we know the contributions that he's made to our community, and it's our place to hold him up and thank him for what he's contributed to our community. Thank you, imagineNATIVE and Johnny and everybody who's doing this. Hi.
Thank you, Tansu. Tansu will be available for questions following the wrap-up, which is coming very shortly. Also want to extend a huge thank you to the family, Augie's family, Joan and his daughters, who have been such guiding lights again in this whole process and have been such beautiful people to work with, and we thank them so much for their support in this prize. As we mentioned, the prize will be given out at the award show on 2 weeks from now, on October the 17th at Cinema 2 at the TIFF Bell Lightbox. So I guess that's our little festival in a nutshell. Yeah. There's a lot going on. We're more than happy, obviously, to answer some questions if anyone has them. But again, thank you all so much for coming.
And thank you for having us, entertaining a little bit. And we just want to mention some of the, I'm not sure, some of the artists who were planning to come, I'm I'm not sure we're able to make it, but I'm just taking a look here. I know David Plant is here, who's the Executive Director of Trinity Square Video, who's launching the Arctic Noise exhibition that starts tomorrow, so if you have any questions about that. And Melissa Jim is here, who's one of the producers of Fire Song, so you're welcome to ask her any questions about that. And if anyone else is here, put up your hands, but otherwise, come and talk to us if you have any questions. Or does anyone have any questions, I suppose? We've covered it all, I think.
Yeah, we're always so thorough. So the festival kicks off in less than 2 weeks on the 14th. We hope to see you there at the Welcome Gathering and also at the Bloor Hot Dog Cinema for the screening of Miko. Thank you very much. Have a good morning.